Welcome to Lift Up Chat. I'm your host, Maggie.
I'm your host, George. You can find us on at Lift Up Chat,
where we dive into conversations about everyday topics from A to Z. We have our opinions, we share our experiences, and the fun part, you guys get to dive in.
On this channel, we try to keep things real, sharing helpful ideas, some inspiration, and a friendly nudge to try something new in your own life. All right, let's get started with today's topic.
That's right. This is what we came up with, the name, the paused sentence.
Yes, this is going to be interesting.
Right. This is almost not daily, but a frequent conversation in our house here.
During conversations.
In our household, for sure. I mean, how do you guys speak? Whether you're giving a speech, whether you're having normal conversations with your family, whether you're speaking with your kids, whether you're speaking with your husband, partner. How do you guys do it? Do you have filler words? Do you pause? We came up with this conversation because we wanted to bring it out to you guys and see if some of you can connect with us. And if you've never thought about it, when you're speaking, how do you speak?
Exactly.
Right? I tend to speak like I'm relaxed sometimes, unless, when I have to say some stuff. Yes, I do. But most of the time, I rather, when I'm explaining something, I might say, let me get that thing. I use that thing a lot. But I'll be like, I'll tell my husband or the kids, this thing here is going to be really good. Then I pause. I used it the other day. But guess what, guys? In my sentence, the middle of my sentence, guess who joins the middle of the conversation in my sentence before I finish it? Because I'll be like, I'm going to get this thing. It's going to help us. And then I pause. It's kind of blue. It's really good. I enjoy it. And then in the middle of it, when I say I'm going to get this thing, my husband is like, what thing, baby? Let me see it. What is it? I'm like, I'm still speaking. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's your defense?
There's no defense. You stop mid-sentence. So I'm like, okay, what thing? After about 3 or 4 seconds, I'm wondering, did you finish? Or is there more to this sentence?
But I don't see the confusion. I do not see the confusion there.
Do I need to help?
No.
Help you finish the sentence?
No, you don't. I don't need your help. I'm trying to speak.
Did you lose your train of thought?
I didn't lose my train of Now, you see why we brought this up to you guys. I don't know that you have it in your family at all, but we need to have the discussion and we need some of your suggestions and help because we're trying to figure it out. But I think we're starting to get it, understand each other. But I feel like he doesn't wait for me to finish, but he feels like I'm taking so long
to finish a sentence.
My pause is so long. It's like at a stoplight, right? The light turns green.
You wait 3 seconds and then you blow your horn. Like, move on.
Actually, the stoplight thing, we'll talk about it sometime. But I'm thinking, I disagree with the 3 seconds. Give somebody 5 to 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Massachusetts, I don't know. We're not very patient with that, the stoplight. But yes, so we bring the stoplight, I guess, at home as well with my hubby. Because speaking, I'm like, now the plants, I saw something with the plants yesterday. I'm going to do something with it. but I think we should do this. Now, by the time I say, but I think we should do this, he's already like, what are you talking about?
Your pause are longer than that.
Please.
I could go make a sandwich and come back.
Oh, wow. Okay, guys. Do you believe this?
Well, it's kind of exaggeration at that point. But,
yes, yeah.
but you do get my point.
But you get my point, right? Yeah, you get my point. So we've figured we're gonna bring it to you guys.
Okay. Discussing what is a pause sentence, because when you're speaking a sentence, there should be an end to your sentence. Normally, you don't stop in the middle of the sentence.
And again, I didn't stop. You think I stopped, but I didn't. So you kind of, I think it's the tone. So I might say, let me get these things. Do you see this thing in my bag? It's going to
1, 2, 3.
It's going 4. To help us do this, right? That's not a long pause, guys. That's like a relaxed talk and take time to breathe and,
Okay.
Oh, yes. And all you have to do is just wait for the thing I'm talking about. That's all. So if I'm giving a speech, hi guys, today we're talking about raising kids. I have 4 kids. This is what we do. Da 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 da.
But that statement, see, you have 4 kids, period. Then your next sentence.
Okay, so maybe the tone.
But like yours is, you're in the middle of the sentence. There's no period yet.
No, there's no period yet. So you're trying to figure it out. Is she done? You know what? I might as well just jump in.
Exactly. She finished the statement.
What is it? He's like, what is it? I'm like, I'm still talking. But you're quiet though.
Well, do I need to help out here and give you clues?
Yeah, so I think maybe it's the tone, right?
Yes.
Maybe a bit. So for example, moving forward, maybe I should try. We're gonna get the kids at 5 o'clock. So at stayed hanging, and 5 o'clock is like a period. Right?
Exactly.
So just count maybe kind of a middle ground. Maybe instead of 3 seconds, count 6 seconds.
That's a long
What do you guys think?
That's a long time.
A long time for
That's
what?
A long time.
What's the rush? Exactly. You couldn't answer, guys. Now he's going to try to come up with something, but he didn't answer. You have to remember that.
I'll get back to you.
Oh, there's no rush. There's no rush. Yeah. So how do you guys deal with that when you're having conversations? Are you speaking rushed? Do you feel rushed? Do you feel like your partner is jumping in before you finish your thought, then you forget your thought? And how do you handle it? We don't argue about it. As you see, this is exactly how we discuss this. We just start laughing about it. But some people, it probably might be irritating or annoying. Yes. But we handle it, I think, pretty well. So we wanted to bring it up to you guys because it's been happening a little bit more often. We figured we'd bring it up.
Because when I do a sentence, I go from the beginning to the end.
Oh, yes.
There's no pause in between.
But I feel that he's speaking so fast. Like let me enjoy your conversation. Don't give me a speech kind of thing. Because he has very good stories and I love to hear him talk, but sometimes you're like, yeah, baby, so let's get these paints and go down and be done with it and paint in one day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's get this paint. And then we'll probably, it makes it warmer.
Okay.
Kind of like.
Okay, all right.
Right?
I like mine straight to the point, no segment.
Did you hear this? He wants it straight to the point. I want it a little bit warmer. So we're going to be working on that. But with your help, give us some suggestions. And how about, do you guys use, so we called it a pause sentence. That's why we called it a pause sentence, right? So in your pause sentence, what do you guys use? Do you guys use filler words?
Like,
What are the other ones? Like what I've noticed lately, actually, is the kids. So the younger generation are using like. I'm going to the store and I'm like buying the things and I'm like,
And it's a it's full of words. It's like you don't have a word to put in there. So I'm gonna put like in there. So if I don't know what word I want to use, so I'll put like.
I feel like it takes away from the conversation though. People start getting, at least for myself, sometimes when somebody's putting in so many filler words, I get distracted by the filler words. Like,
Right.
so at least one major thing I've noticed is that the younger people and other adults too, but the young adults, and when they're having conversation, they're not looking you in the eye. They're putting a lot of
Mm.
filler words in there, like, um, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, my friends, we're gonna like,
Exactly. Exactly.
so it's hard to connect, and some people can miss the point and people can disconnect. Lately, I feel like as a generation, as a people, uh, due to all these gadgets we have lost our attention span is kind of
Sure.
short. I don't know what the numbers are, what the research is, but um,
And we,
I'm assuming it must be definitely shorter than before.
yes.
Uh, so if you're trying to put in a lot of filler words in when you're giving a speech, or if you're in a meeting, people might lose your point and
Right.
might tune out, and that's not what you want. So usually my advice to even our kids when we're talking, try to, look somebody in the eye, um, be intentional when you're talking, don't be on your phone, and wait for that person to complete their sentence. And if they're putting in some pauses, and active listening, really,
Right.
repeating somebody's sentence, reading somebody's words after they speak, to like active listening and rephrasing what they say. What do you think? Do you feel like communication has kind
We've
of declined in the last
we've
10 years? Why?
lost the younger generation has lost the art of communication
Huh.
because they're so
Mm.
electronic bound. They talk in phrases and not complete sentences anymore. They would text two words. They can have a whole conversation. They can text over 15 minutes when they get a conversation of 2 minutes of what they text. So they have become gadget bound, and
Right.
they've lost the art of complete sentences. It's all phrases now.
And how is that affecting? I mean, I feel like that's gonna affect all kind of areas, be it the job sector, their social skills
Yes.
and self-esteem. If you can express yourself, and you're put in a situation or in a kind of a challenging situation,
Right.
how are you going to express yourself? And I feel like that can affect the
Think the
kids, so then they end up being, they tune out, or they
right.
isolate themselves. If they feel like they don't fit in, they can't speak.
Yeah.
So that's a great observation, and it's an issue. So
I
what do we
think their
do?
social skills have been eroded by electronics. It's the gadget age. During our generation, we didn't have those gadgets, so we had to have
We were
conversations.
forced to
You're supposed to have a conversation.
communicate.
Now, kids nowadays would rather text you than than
Right.
than, than, than talk to you.
And you know what? Even the young adults, even people in their 30s now, because I'm a conversation kind of person, I prefer a phone call. Um, but some of my uh, friends or people I talk to, a few of them would prefer text.
Yeah.
They're like, I prefer text because I'm doing this. I'm like, I prefer the humanness, the voice,
Right. Right.
there's
Exactly.
something that, you
Exactly.
know, and even when you're talking to somebody, like when we used to interview people, if you're talking to somebody on the phone, you can tell. Are they grim? Are they sad? Are they paying attention? You can actually tell.
Right.
And I feel that the young people are doing, they're not doing they're doing themselves a disservice by engaging so much in this, on their phones and gadgets, and not socializing more. And parents, I'd say, I'll give a shout out to Girl Scouts and some other organizations that still pay attention to um, kids interacting with each other without, the gadgets. It's
Yeah.
really important. It gets them to, problem solve and know how to speak with each other. If somebody was rude, how do they conflict,
Right.
right? Conflict.
Mm.
Right. So I feel like, and then COVID, I think COVID did a number. What do you think about that?
Well, going back to that though,
Yeah.
I think
Hmm.
with the age of electronics, parents sometimes because they're so busy sometimes they use electronics as a babysitter.
That's true. This
They
is
they would sit
true.
a child out in front of television, and they watch television while they do other things. So it's becoming kind of ingrained into them that electronics is they needed their stimulation through electronics and not through other means.
Kids as early as 3, 6 months are just put in their little seats or recliners and put in front of a television
Yep, exactly.
or iPads. What is that doing to the kids? Parents, I think we need. It's tough. They're kind of like mini babysitters, but is it the right thing we're doing for our kids? Is it? How is that affecting them?
It does,
Um,
but I think if it's
so
something educational they're watching
mhm,
that helps versus just
right,
something to watch, keep their attention span, that doesn't help their development.
right. That's a point too. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah,
All right. Yeah, I think COVID. I feel like a lot of kids tuned out. It
yes,
really
they did.
affected a lot of kids, and then on top of that, with the after the COVID, I feel like we've been taken over. The parents are parents were kind of having this conflict with computers and
Exactly.
their phones and gadgets and the social media apps that we can't keep track
Well,
of,
yeah,
right?
true,
I,
true.
I I probably only know a third of what the kids have out there. So it goes into the safety issue, down a rabbit hole and all that. But
Yeah,
um,
because the kids need
that,
socialization,
right,
and the social media and the gadgets is not socialization.
yeah,
That's more to me more isolation than
right,
socialization.
right. And I've heard stories, of kids in the same room. Even you might have a party and
Oh yeah,
kids are in the same room.
that reminds me of my son and his friends. They were down in the basement
Yeah.
having a gathering. There was 6 of them, 7 of them. They're sitting down in the basement, and they were texting each other back and forth instead of having a conversation. I'm like, guys, put the phone down and talk to each other.
You're right.
You,
He's
you're
right
right.
there.
You're right there. Why are you texting? Why are you texting each other? That was to me. That was the oddest thing. I I,
Right.
I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Right. And to them, it's normal.
Yes.
Now we're asking them to do something that's not normal to them. They feel,
Talk.
yeah, they look
You
at us
just
like we have 5 heads or something.
just have a conversation. What's the conversation?
Well, what's a conversation?
Because they lack it, and they lack in that skill set
Mm.
to hold a decent conversation.
And I think one thing would be great for kids, especially in school, is to incorporate the public speaking or giving speeches. I feel like that helps.
Yeah.
I noticed a big change in one of our kids. Uh, their school challenged them to give presentations frequently. And that's really, I noticed within a year, this child was different. Within a year, I could see I noticed the difference. She was talking to you, the confidence level, the tone, regulating herself. And then from there, obviously, everything just went uh, great. Like, Mom, I'm going to be the leader of this. I'm the secretary of this. I'm going to try to do this. But again, it all comes from if you're able to speak and advocate for yourself and the confidence, it boosts your confidence. So I'm thinking as parents, as guardians, as teachers, as adults,
Right.
we can try to help our kids because clearly, they don't know. But if they're in a video game, you know, I've been on social media for a minute. You're on there and you realize, wait, what time is it?
Right.
So we get it. We're realistic, but let's jump in there, and try to help our kids out.
Exactly.
Help our kids out. Yeah, because this is a life skill. It's a life skill. You know.
So what do you think? Is social media and electronics setting our kids back 20 years? Do your children talk to you with a conversation? Or do they prefer to text you instead of having a conversation with you? So let us know. We're eager to find out how how you deal with this issue of social media and how and the gadgets and their use of gadgets all the time, where the head is frequently in, on the phone or computer, an iPad, or on some social media account looking at what other people say. So let us know in the comments what you do.
And that's a whole other story. If they're watching everything else other people are doing, are they losing their self-identity? That's a whole other topic right
True.
there,
Yep.
you know. And we said, as a kid, how were you taught to communicate at home or in public? You were you, how did your parents teach you guys to communicate?
Well, it's a little different growing up in
Yeah, it's
growing up
yeah.
in growing up in the South,
Hmm.
in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah.
Um, as a kid, you were not supposed to look an adult in the eye for some reason. And that plays a major role in kids nowadays who will not look an adult or anybody in the eye. They always shifting away, which which is tough for someone looking at them, try to hold a conversation when they're looking at something else. So, it's like you have to tell them, look the person in the eye because otherwise they're gonna think that you're either not interested or you're hiding something from them. But growing in the South, you were not supposed to. It took me a long time to learn that, to look people in the eye as growing up. Okay, you're supposed to look someone in the eye when you're talking, versus looking away when they're talking and say, I can't look the person in the eye because it's not right.
You know what? Something similar, coincidentally, totally different worlds, miles and miles away. Raised in Uganda, we were raised not to look people in the eye either. You look down because when you look somebody in the eye, it's a sign of disrespect, especially an elder. Raised speaking so loudly. So basically, you look down as you're talking as a sign of respect. But here in the States, it's different, right? People,
Mhm.
when you're looking down, it's all negative, really. That's
Mhm.
why, again, that's why cultures, learning about cultures, it's awesome. Diversity is beautiful because then you get to learn about other people's cultures and why they do things, why they do what they do. One is not more superior than to the other. No, it's just their culture. And once you get to understand their culture, you appreciate it, right?
Correct. Yes.
So here, look somebody in the eye. If you don't, you're lying, you're not sure, you're not confident. It's all not good.
Y-
Whereas back then in Uganda, we're like, when you look somebody in the eye, so this kid is disrespectful. And if you're a lady, forget it. What kind of woman is that? Looks you in the eyes.
So
What?
so even as an adult, a woman cannot look at
Like,
a teenager or whatever.
kind of like when you're talking, you have to, yeah, when you're a teenager, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, talking to an elder.
Kind of look away from them.
Right, 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 right. So I've had to, I had, just like you, I had to teach myself that, make sure I look somebody in the eye. It's intimidating when but this is not how you grew up. It's really
Right.
intimidating. It's nerve-wracking. You can lose your train of thought. But I had to train myself, and I'm pretty comfortable with it now. And that's one thing I made sure that I help the kids, and I think they're pretty good. But public speaking or giving them some, kids join debate club, things like that. Get your kids involved and be
Yeah.
present. These are life skills.
Correct.
You know, yeah.
That is true.
You don't want your kid to be passed up, an opportunity to be, pass up just because they can't read.
Can't
They
read.
can't read the person.
They can't read, or they not able to do an interview.
Right. Right.
S- there are a lot of repercussions when,
Absolutely.
from not being able to hold a conversation, not being able
Yeah.
to direct eye contact with someone, because you're in the interview process. In the interview, you have to look the interview in the eye, because otherwise, they could think that whatever you're saying is it's not true. When I interview someone and if they don't have direct eye contact, I'm like, what is this person trying to hide?
Actually, that reminds me. There's a lady I really was looking up to her in one of the positions I really wanted to, wanted to be, and one of her things, two contrasts. There were two ladies, well accomplished, well educated ladies. One was a little bit quiet and almost like not confident about who she is, but she was really, really smart. And the other one was bubbly and upbeat, talks to you. So when I was talking to her, I told her, this is what I want to do. She told me, Maggie, I think you're going to be able to do this, achieve this dream of yours. But one thing I want to teach you, you need to be able to speak up for yourself, be present, because my colleague here, she's more educated than I am. She has more accolades than I have. But things have passed her, watched opportunities pass her, they're definitely coming to me because of how she is. People can't read her. So I'm not talking bad about her, but I'm just telling you, you don't want to be that. And that was a real life example I can give you guys that I was like, to this day, I remember those two ladies' faces. But they were both nice ladies, but just that slight difference. Let your kid not be that. Don't be that person. But
Right.
we're all still learning, and the pause will continue. It's a work in progress here between the two of us.
So how do you handle that? Did you grow up not being able to look someone in the eye?
Mm-hmm.
Did you overcome that? And how was it intimidating? How do you feel about it?
Right. And that'll be it for our episode today.
This is our show. Thank
Keep
you for joining us.